Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You hear it? It's good. Sure. All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our weekly stream here at VRLA Tech. We are back with another build. I hope you guys had a great week. And we're finally doing this Q60 build here once and for all. um, but yeah, hope you guys had a great week. It's been and since the last stream, what did we do with the last stream? I don't even remember. Um, we're gonna do this Q60 here. It probably might be like a ready to ship. It'll be like on our ready to ship section on our website, so you guys could actually buy this exact build. It'll be like a one of one. Um, I mean, if you really wanted it, you could request us to like rebuild another one for you, but it's gonna be like a one of one thing. We're gonna put it in the Y60. I was gonna put it in a Y70 because the Q60 has a screen and the Y70 has a screen. But I don't think it would have worked out. You probably would have to get like a motherboard with like 3 USB 2.0s instead of 2 USB 2.0s, and maybe we could do that in the future. But we're doing it in the Y60 here. And like I guess the viewing angle, if you had it like off to your right when you're gaming, you'd probably only see the front screen here. You wouldn't really even see that other screen. So it just makes sense to put in the Y60. It's going to be a Ryzen 5950, Ryzen 950, 950X. So it's going to be an AM4 build. Not too shabby with a 4080 Super here. So yeah, pretty good build. We got the height fans in there, 64 gigs of DDR4, 3600 RGB T-Force RAM there. Pretty sick build here. Yeah, let's get started. Move everything out the way. Move this so I can see chat though. Pretty good here. There we go. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good week so far. Finally, it's weekend. We had a holiday here, 4th of July. I don't know, some of our viewers are out of the States, so you guys obviously don't celebrate the 4th of July. But yeah, it's a good week so far. Nice way to finish off the week here with a build. We're actually closed. We're closed. Happy Friday, Zach Attack. I'm just here in the office with Jerry just for the stream, basically. Because other than that, we're closed. So still working for y'all. No, this is not work, man. This is fun. All right, so this is a TUF X570 Pro Wi-Fi. So built-in Wi-Fi. ASUS TUF's gaming subsidiary, I guess. That's the right word to use. This is their lineup here, the TUF gaming lineup. It's separate from ROG. I'd say it's like a level below ROG, but it's still really good products. I mean, sometimes they may even make better products than ROG. Like definitely the TUF cases I've noticed, because they make cases as well. Their cases are actually better than the ROG cases. I gotta say, sorry, sorry ROG, but TUF makes better cases, yo. They have a really nice case actually that looks kind of like an 011 and can fit a ton of fans in there. It's pretty good for like a custom water loop setup. But yeah, really good motherboard here. This is like when the X570s had the fans on them too, because I know the later X570s didn't have the fans on them. So I guess I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I think it's a good thing, right? To keep that chipset cool there. But yeah, I mean, I guess they figured out just put a bigger heat sink on the later X570s. Not too sure what all happened there. And then there was another peculiar thing here too. They have like a heatsink here for the bottom NVMe, but not the top one. and there's no way to get like this one to fit that one. I think there is, maybe. No. Yeah, it's so weird. But nonetheless, I mean, you could probably just use one of those NVMe's that have like a heatsink on them. So that checks out. USB-C, pretty good motherboard here. I mean, um, it's an X570 nonetheless, right? So you're gonna get that good chipset there. You have some overclocking abilities for your CPU, and I think the 5950X is overclockable. You wouldn't be using like a 5800 X3D in a build like this because they're not overclockable. But yeah, I mean, perfect CPU to use with the best chipset AM4 had to offer. Uh, so this is like the highest tier you can get, I guess. There are some motherboards that have a 2 8-pins, so this is 1 8-pin and 1 4-pin connector here. You get 1 RGB header here. You get the 2 like old school like 12-volt RGB headers. I think 1 here and another 1 here. 1 here for the 5-volt 3-pin. So I think this is like when they were transitioning into like a lot of the RGB at the time. But nowadays, like this cooler here, doesn't use that much RGB actually, but it has the screen, and the screen uses the USB 2.0. All the newer RGB stuff uses the USB 2.0 anyways, so don't really need that header anyways as well. So, but yeah, 5950X in there. We'll toss some of this T-Force RGB RAM here, Delta R, Team Group, T-Force. We got 32 gigs each stick, so just really maximize the specs on here on this build because I mean, it's not like a higher end like premium build like we have on our site or we built before here on stream, but it's still like up there. It's not like, you know, it's not gonna be a low tier build here. Still pretty pricey. Some of the parts here, and you just want to maximize, right? Since we're using a 5950, you want to maximize the RAM, you want to maximize all the stuff. I'm using my test stick today and my test power supply, like my benching stuff that I do. But like when this is up for ready to ship, it'll probably have like a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte NVMe in there from like Kingston or Western Digital or even Samsung. We'll see what we toss in there, but that's what it's gonna have in there for the NVMe. Today I'm just using my little Team Group extra little stick I got, and I needed to pull this out real quick here. Use this as a razor. Yeah, but I'm just gonna use my extra little benchmarking stick and my trusty 1000-watt EVGA 1000-watt power supply today. But yeah, we'll probably throw like Corsair ATX 3.0 power supply in this because it does have the 4000 series card in there. So actually, you need to put the so I put the mount there already for the NVMe on this motherboard. Also on the Prime, the ASUS Prime motherboards, I do the same thing here. So you gotta like put the little standoff for it, and then screw it in on top there. So yeah, using one of those NVMe's that actually that's what we should do for this, is get one of those NVMe's that have a heatsink on them. Makes sense with this motherboard, and it shouldn't interfere with the graphics card. There's enough clearance there. Slot in the card. But yeah, let's move on here. Actually gonna really quickly put this on before I put it into the case, just so I don't forget. I'm gonna answer the issue later. This case does have like a cutout anyways behind the motherboard, so not too much of a headache, but just want to get that on there. 4 little screws. So yeah, courtesy of Maria and Nick losing the mounting kit for the Q60 here, had to innovate a little bit here and use the Corsair mounting kit. So hopefully that works, guys. Let's do it. A little bit of tinkering doesn't hurt. Move this to the side. And now, like, the Y60 still hasn't aged. Still hasn't aged at all. Pretty good build here. Get 2 screws on these. So they made a lot of like quality of life changes here to the case. So there's like a screw here. I'm just using, I mean, it's a thumb screw, but then you get this little panel thing that's in the way, so you end up having to use a screwdriver anyways. Like over here, really trying to use it for what it was designed for. I need a ground screwdriver. Oh no, I got it. All right, so 2 thumb screws, one here, one for the back panel. I mean, I don't know why they did that on this, but they got rid of it on the Y70, so they thought the same thing. It was kind of pointless. I mean, it's on there pretty sturdy, I guess. On the Y70, it is a little bit more sturdier though, so. A little bit of design flaw there, but not too bad. I mean, nothing really major. Kind of benign little complaint I got there. The computer is this Nico editor. So sorry I didn't see your chat there. So this is just a ready to ship build that we're doing. So we on our website we have a lot of like ready to ship builds. So they're already built, ready to go, no wait time or anything. You just order them and you get them. But they're pre-configured, right? So I choose all the specs or whichever other builder came up with it. And, it just gets built, stressed, boxed up, ready to go for whomever orders it. It's usually like a one-of-one build. So you'll see if it on the website, if it already got sold, it'll say out of stock. I mean, you could like hit us up and request it if you really wanted us to build another one. But kind of like they're just like a one-of-one thing. And this one is gonna be the latest one on there. We got quite a few on there right now, but this will be the latest one on there. It's just a Y60. It's a height Y60, so it's gonna be this case with a tough X570 5950X CPU from AMD with a 4080 Super. Pretty good build. Pretty. I mean, it's higher. It's a higher spec than you know like an Apollo, like one of our Apollos or something like that. But yeah, still really good. It's like a mid. I mean, a couple years ago this would have been super high end, right? I mean, 5950. Oh, I'm so used to motherboards that have the IO shield already in there. So get this IO shield in there. Boom. And then get this motherboard in there. All right. Pop these screws out while I'm at it. I think the real the main attraction, I guess, to this build is the Q60. So I failed to mention that just now, Nico, but yeah, the Q60 here is going to be the main attraction to this build. So it's heights. Um, everybody has like every company's coming out, especially at the last Computex. I mean, ASUS was ahead of the curve, and so was Corsair. They had their own little LCD AIOs, but that seems to be like the big thing at Computex this year was the all the screens, right? And every company basically came out with their own little version of the LCD AIO. Aside from AI, everything Computex this year was wood AI and LCDs. What a combo there. But yeah, so they came out with their own. Actually, this released before Computex 2024, so um it's been out. So they were ahead of the curve too. Uh so it's their little iteration of the LCD AIO. Actually, height is kind of I think it's the most attractive one because it's like such a big screen. It kind of looks like a cell phone. You can kind of see it off to my side here. Oh, I'm covering it. Yeah, it's right there. But yeah, I mean, we will see it right now when I plug it in and everything. Um, pretty cool little innovation that Height had there. Their little twist to it. Um, the screen does pivot around too, so that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, that's the main attraction to this build here. And it makes a lot of sense with this case because they give a lot of space in this front chamber. Over here to the right, there's a ton of space. You could probably even like sandwich the radiator. I could probably even pull that off with a build like this because you get so much space in this chamber here. Like I mean, you get a ton of space in like the O11 and a lot of the other like dual chamber cases, but you get like a ton of space in this case here. I've noticed that now with the Corsair 6500s as well. You get a ton of space in that back area there too. It's almost designed for the radiator to be back there and get some intake through it, I guess. Makes more sense. You get cold air through your radiator. Um, and another thing they did actually with this AIO was, so let me just talk about it for a bit, I guess. Snap this up. That'll be the next thing I pop into this build, actually. So, you want to switch the cam, Jerry. So, not only did they, come out with a big innovation for the screen size and what you can do with it and all that good stuff, but also uh, it's thick, right? They call it the Q60 thick with the thick fans, right? So those fans are like a few millimeters um, taller, right? Or not taller. What's the word there? Width, I guess. It's a little bit wider than the normal fans, so you get more air flowing through it, I guess. Just different dynamics there, and then the radiator has way more fluid in it for the coolant, right? Way more space, way more volume there for the coolant. So that's why they call it thick, and it makes sense because you get tons of space in this chamber here. So you're gonna fill out all that space with a thicker cooler instead of having a regular AIO, which means you take up less space technically than a 360 rad. Um, for a higher end CPU that gets hotter, right? So pretty awesome, pretty cool little thing that they did there. Um, love that from Height. I think they're actually coming out with a 360 version of this. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw that at the Computex. Uh, all the updates there from Computex, but I mean, nonetheless, you probably get the same amount of coolant in this as a 360. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that one, but I mean, it would be cool, right, if that was the case. Nonetheless, you do get more coolant than just the regular 240 rad. Anyways, so yeah, we mount that back here. Makes sense, right? You get airflow through the radiator, cold air. Let me just, oh my god, this thing's actually heavy. Let me figure out how I'm gonna mount this, y'all. Okay. Yeah, put a little elbow grease in there. Cool. Once you get one screw in, you're pretty good. You could kind of let go and get the other screws in there. Just getting these screws in. It's about, I mean, it's 8 screws, right? So it's the same amount as the fan screws. They all kind of line up there, or exactly line up actually. So that's how I would mount. I would just use like longer screws that pass through the um, fans into the radiator to sandwich. If I was doing like the sandwich little setup. Boom, get those in there. All right. And then let me just try to pass through these wires. This is a kind of a, so this seems like it was more designed for the wide 70. There are some cutouts here for the wires for the fans. And I mean, just kind of doesn't check out here with these. Could go up probably. Yeah, we could go up. Let's do one by one here. So a little cutout where you see my fingers on screen there. Slight cutout for the fan cables, but this one just uses like 2 USB cables. Kind of goes to it goes to a 2 USB cables that go to USB 2.0 and a fan header, and then a 6-pin PCI power connector there. So pretty interesting. We've seen Corsair do the PCI power header to the 6-pin power header on their controllers now too. This has the controller built into it, so you just get the cables off of it, but pretty much same thing that Corsair is doing, their power connector. No more SATA. I guess now with these, like with screens and all this stuff, you're gonna need more juice for your builds, for your components. So a little 6-pin power connector, USB 2.0, and fan power header. So I guess that's just for like readouts or controlling the fans and stuff like that. The fan curve and all that good stuff. So let's actually plug all this in now. Oh, it's another thing about this case, what they fixed with the Y70 was, so with the Y70 they just made a lot of like more quality of life changes, I guess I could say. Just made it easier, a little bit more spacier, kind of less complicated. I mean, it's still super easy to build in this case. You get a lot of space and you get a lot of cable management areas. But this they made super complicated, so I don't know if you guys can see it on screen, but there's a cutout here, but they make the wires go through here, but you get barely any clearance, so you can't really close the back panel. It just doesn't even make any sense. So what I do is I just pull them through this cutout here, and it makes total sense after that. I mean, you can stuff some of the wire in this chamber too, so after you pull them out, you plug them in, you could kind of stuff them back in there, get them out the way after you plug them in and got your use out of them. But kind of just go one by one here. And this is the hardest one. This is with the 3.0. Oh, Jesus, I hate this one. Pivot it this way, maybe. Just bend it a little bit. I hate this part of this case. And there you go, got it through, and boom. So now let's plug all that in. All right, so on this case, I think we got the, this is one thing I don't like about this motherboard is the USB 3.0 connector is kind of, it's on the bottom here. It's just a bad spot for it. I don't know. This is like the older boards, they did this. Kind of not cool. What I do is I kind of just angle it up, plug it in. We did that. We did get for some other build. We got a like an L shaped, like 90-degree angle little thing here, so that way the connector extends up, and then we were able to plug it in upwards. Well, it's not bad actually. Get away with that. Got your front panel connector. So this was ahead of the curve here too with this case. The front panel connector is all together. It's not separated, so it's just one little cable down instead of separate cables straight into the header. And then we got USB-C and HD audio. So pretty much standard build here. You get pretty good I/O, front I/O with this case. A lot of back I/O. Cool. And it comes with 3 fans. In this case, the Y70 doesn't come with any fans. It comes with 3 fans. One thing I did like about this case. So the 2 fans, but it only fits 2 fans on the bottom. With the Y70, you could fit 3 fans. Although they don't like all screw in. They did design it for 3 fans down there. It's just a weird design. Put it on the top. So those fans to plug, I'll actually plug this into the CPU header there. Those fans are just regular non-RGB fans with the plug-in straight to the fan power headers there, and I used up all the headers there, so I have to go on the top here for the AIO. But that's not bad for this preferred, in my opinion. We got HB audio. Again, about these cases, you get this little riser cable that's built into the case. It's kind of hard to reach the bottom headers here, especially in the Y70. You get the display port cable kind of in the way too. It's easier with the Y60 here and the Y40, but that would have been bad. But yeah, pretty compact in some areas, spacious in other areas. And then just hit it with a zip tie or something right there. And borrow the ones from the case. So let me just flip this. You guys can see that. I mean, a cable advantage itself. This is what I love about these cases, especially all these new cases. But I think I really noticed it with the height cases when they first came out. Just hit it with a couple zippies down the line. I mean, it already cable managed itself. So just go down the line here. Boom. Another one here. Boom. And I'm just gonna leave all this for now. Here, I'll bundle it up actually. Go up here with it. And a third one here, just down the line. I mean, look how easy they make it. I mean, this is not my best cable management, but just for like a rudimentary little quickie, boom, it's already basically all done here. You could hit it with some more zip ties and stuff if you want it to make it look prettier. Get the cables all locked down and stuff, so you don't have to run into troubleshooting stuff in the future. Yeah, I mean, boom. There we are, and then we'll plug that into the power supply when we get there. We just mount this on now to the CPU itself. Hit it with some M.2 thermal paste. M.2's thermal paste is pretty thick, I've noticed. Usually comes with like their air coolers. They don't make any AIOs. I mean, at Computex they did have kind of like a weird AIO they're coming out with that doesn't use any like pump. So interesting. Was that M.2 or was that a different company? Now I'm tripping. Now I think I want to mount this with the hoses facing down. I think that makes the most sense. Although my my plan doesn't seem to work here. Seems like it's too tall. Maybe if I can find some different standoffs. That's unfortunate. I'll probably still get this to work actually. So let's see. So that's why you always want to use what's in the box. Again, courtesy of Maria Nick losing the mounting kit here. I did try to come out with this idea, but it doesn't seem to work, y'all. I try to use a Corsair mounting kit. I mean, AMD with the AM4 and AM5, they're all pretty much the same, but the thing that changes is the height of the mounting bracket. So like with this cooler, the mounting bracket is just slightly higher than usual. So of course they're all gonna be kind of the same because you have to make contact to the CPU. Like the cooler, the pump itself has to make contact to the CPU. But sometimes they're just a little bit higher than others, so they compensate by like giving you like a longer screws. But in this case, shoot, the Corsair screws are just not long enough for the height cooler. Try to the magnetic of this. That sucks. I want to get back there, but I want this to stay. See, maybe if I could just force it just a little bit, slightly. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see if I can get this one here. All right. So fun. And they're thumb screws, but you know, you can't really get your thumb back there. Try this out. Either it's too heavy for my small driver, or my big driver does not have the. I need to magnetize it again. Yeah. See if we can do this lying down, actually. Right. Should get some like flex to this. Could probably get it in there. This is quite unfortunate. Let's come back to that. Let me get this riser cable in, just so it's out of the way. Shout out to Hyde for hooking us up with these with these parts here. They did send us the there that goes. They did send us the cooler and the fans. We do get a lot of their cases and stuff, so they hooked us up. They even hooked us up with like some like little RGB strips for your room and stuff, or your desk for the setup. So shout out to Hyde for that. But sorry, we're not using your original mounting solution there. Let's see what I can think of. Probably go like that. I got an idea, y'all. There's a will, there's a way. I might just do this upside down too. The rad is still taller anyways, so yeah, we could probably do it like this actually. Right. quite a bit of finesse here. Isn't it always fun watching me embarrass myself on stream though? This is not my first time, so I'm used to it. There we go. Okay, after a little bit of fidangling, I actually figured out a little thing I can do here. So I just raised up those standoff screws there, and then gave me enough clearance to get this on. Actually, pretty neat. Yeah, I could just tighten them up. I am a fidangler, I guess. Get a little bit flex on those brackets, but nothing major. Alrighty. So probably would like these hoses to be on the bottom, but I mean, just for now, I just wanted to really get that on there. So yeah, it would be better for them to be on the bottom. Makes way more sense. Anyways, we got the fans next. So let's get these pop fans on there. Whoa. So these fans from Height, they also sent us these. These are their thick fans. Thick FP12 digital processor cooling, huh? Cool. I don't know what that even means. Maybe some marketing stuff they're coming up with. But you get some wires or controller wires. And then you get the fans themselves. Little QR code stuff. Digital processor cooling, huh? I wonder what that means. So again, same ones you get on the RAD. They just sent in some extra ones there. They link together. Oh, those are the different magnets. Or okay, I see what they did there. You got to take off the. You don't want to mess up the pins there. Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks for that. Height. So they just clip together. So the magnets on this side are what are the 2 positives or 2 negatives or whatever? I forgot how that works, but that's the correct way. Again, magnets this way. Boom. And we're gonna put these as exhaust. I just want to figure out. Okay, so I see what they did there. You get one of these cables, and you hook it up to the. Okay, cool. I mean, not bad at all from Height. So you get a bunch of cables, but you only need one because they link together. But it's just in case you set them up somewhere else on the build that they won't link together, so you have to use more cables. Over here, so 2 like USB-Cs just link together like that. Boom, goes to a fan power header, and then just like a little magnet thing there. Boom, goes to the back of your case or whatever, what have you. Oh shit, okay, so I see what's going on here. Interesting. So I'll just go like that and bend it back. Makes sense. So let's get that up on top of here. So we used to put like 360 rads in these builds when we were selling the Y60. These we don't anymore, and since we have this Q60, I'm putting it on the side for sure, right? Not gonna mount that on the top. This though, this is a little bit weird. So we'll just go like that, I guess. Oh, actually won't close because they're super thick. They're designed for the thinner fans. So we'll just go up here with it. Yeah, and that checks out. Cool. You can kind of see them a little bit too. They're closer to the VRM heatsink, so you actually get some cooling off of there. Get some fat screws. Put a little elbow grease in there. Okay, so it checks out. A little bit of logistical issues here. What's the word I'm looking for? But there's a will, there's a way, y'all, right? I actually really like these fans. Not no pun intended, not a fan of RGB. And these are cool because they still link together without RGB. I know Corsair and Lian came out their own versions of like non-RGB fans that link together. But I really like these from height as well because you do get the thickness, so you get more airflow. And they, I mean, for the most part, they'll fit in like every case, right? You shouldn't be too worried about them not fitting in your case. They're slightly bigger than like a regular 120 fan, so shouldn't be too much of a biggie. Get this locked down. All right. This last one here. We don't need to put on. So this is what for. All right. Cool. Get this little panel back on. So what we used to do is you could take this bracket out, put your AIO, the hoses will come down through here, and you wouldn't really be able to see the fans. But it was cool because you get the fans right up against the surface here, so you really get that exhaust. Right now with the fans, putting them inside like this, there's still like a chamber up here that kind of, I mean, if you really wanted to, I guess you can kind of finesse another set of fans up there. Like an ultra thick setup. Oh, this was another thing I really didn't like about this case. Actually, probably makes it impossible to even put these fans up here. Yeah, they fixed this on the Y70, so there's really no access to these. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue for sure. There's no access to these CPU power headers. I don't know why they designed the Y60 like this. This was the ultimate design flaw of the Y60. You don't even get that with the Y40. Definitely not with the Y70. So big oof there. Height. Yeah, they fixed that with the Y70 anyway, so they addressed that issue. Let me just move this bracket out. So I was just talking about this bracket. Now we get to move it out the way so I can get the wires through and everything, and then I'll hook it back up. It's kind of like having a Frankenstein everything with this build today. All right, so you can take that out. Now I got a clearance. Just got this. I wonder if one of these other cables have like the other magnets the other way, because oh, they do. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll opt for that because I'm not digging that option. So the pinouts on these, so some of them are male, some of them are female. Just depends on which side you need them on. And it looks like you can get in on this side, yeah. All right. Wonderful. Nice. Well, that's so bizarre. Hmm. That's so weird. So, okay, I don't know why they did that. And these are to link them. These are to link them on. Okay, what a weird ecosystem. Maybe not bad. I mean, I don't, I'm not hating on their little ecosystem they came up with there, but I'm not digging it either. What does that go into that? That's bizarre. Make it longer or something. Okay, so we're gonna have to go with this option. I wish I would have known that. Yeah. Just slight weird design, but it was built through there. So I thought I could try to use like some of their wires to like try to do something here to get the just the cable management a little bit better, but it's not that bad. I mean, just have to twist the wire a little bit. There we go. Boom. And then just lay it flat there. Yeah, just have to twist the wire a little bit back here. Can't even see it really. Just okay, it looks normal. It's not flexing anything too badly there, so just get that zipped back there too. Well. All right. Toss this stuff onto this. Okay. Cool beans. All right, let's get that power supply in there. No, I'll leave this off so I can get those cables in and then see where we go from there. Get this power supply in there. Boom. Another thing I do like about this cooler is they do the controller. You don't need any controller. It's like built into the actual like top of the rad there, so no headache of trying to find a place for the controller in the back and what have you. Surprised that NPC hasn't killed me here yet. Or a monster or something. Got Elden Ring on this computer on the side of me here. And just been standing out in the open next to that tree sentinel in like the first step area. If y'all know what I'm talking about. And no NPC, not even a tree sentinel like walking up or nothing. Perfect spot to go AFK. Doing a speed run to the DLC, y'all. Just kidding. Yeah, right. Okay, so my trusty EVGA 1000-watt power supply here. Just plugging everything in basically. My test power supply, so I'm gonna need that pack. But figured I'll just use it for the stream really quickly. Didn't want to pop open a new one. It will get a new power supply though once it goes up on the website and all that rest. Okay, so I do have only one. Okay, not bad, not bad. Do have two. We'll do just the one. So one CPU power header cable here. Hopefully it doesn't obstruct the fan there. If you just kind of angle it behind, like so, and it should be good. So, oh no, this plate is going to be hitting. That's so unfortunate. I don't know why Height decided to do that. Okay, well, I got it to not hit, hopefully. Just slightly. But yeah, they did fix it with the Y70, so not bad at all. I mean, it does make sense of why they made this giant chamber up here, is to get the fans out of the way. You lose like a couple options for other things when you do that. Wow, but with even these thick fans, still get that clearance. That's good. Let's stuff this back here. Plug it in one of these. 6-pin power connector, PCI power connector for the RAM and the screen. I guess these screens use a lot of power, so it makes sense that I'm not using SATA anymore. Like the old controllers. Kind of just stuffing everything back here, y'all, no cable management really. And then motherboard connector. I'm just gonna stuff that too. Looks pretty good for stuffing them. All right, and then we got the GPU cables. Let's pop that GPU in there. So we got the PNY Accelerate 4080, one of their top cards. It's not just like the regular one. And that's the only difference is RGB, really. But cool little card nonetheless. Accelerate Gaming. Don't have my box cutter. I'll use these. Forgot my box cutter on my desk. There's all the stickers. What the heck? All right. Alrighty. We are gonna need my test power supply is not ATX 3.0. I've been using this for years now, so I have this had this power supply before the 4000 series cards came out with all that good stuff. 12-volt high power connector. All the big headache that came with that when it initially released, right? Just take off all this shipping stuff, scratch resistant stuff. Don't need that anymore. And then that 12-volt high power connector I was talking about. With a 4080, it only needs 3 8-pins. So it's 150 watts each 8-pin. So what, 450 max with the 4080 Super here. Probably overclock that if you wanted to. All right, let's get this card in here. Vertical mount. So I love about these height cases too. So they already come with the vertical mount. With my Air Mini at home, I had to buy the vertical mount separately from Lian. It's cool that they sell a kit for it nonetheless, but it would have been cool just to get it with it. Oh, another logistics issue here, huh? Wow. Just back-to-back issues today with this build. I could still pull this off now. All right. So not ideal. Probably would have go. Think we're gonna. I'm gonna rethink this build here for the ready to ship. We'll actually throw this into a Y70 because this cooler just doesn't make sense, and these fans just don't make sense in the Y60. I mean, Height came out with this stuff after the Y60, so I mean, they most likely designed it for the Y70 anyway. So I thought it would make sense in this case because that Y70 already has that giant screen in the front, but I guess 2 screens don't hurt. So we'll do 2 screens. We'll have that big giant screen there, and then this screen here, and this will be all mounted properly. I mean, it still gets to move around freely, doesn't touch the card, anything like that. Maybe if I mounted these on the bottom, that would have been an issue there. I could probably move them on to the side anyways. Nonetheless, I mean, still looks pretty cool in this case too. But yeah, definitely throwing this in the Y70. We get to see. We get to see how it all worked out here. Another thing that's going to be in the way is this here. So even on the Y70, it's going to be in the way. This connector. So, but we'll use a 3.0 connector, so it won't be in the way that much. We'll be able to route it to the bottom, kind of like that. I'll try to pull that off here with this case right now. All right. This is one thing I always hated about the Y60 was all this GPU cable stuff. You get like a little thing from the bottom, like all the way on like the base plate there, but I was never a fan of like going down there like that. It just caused like all this tangling. Was not a fan of doing all that, but they did fix that with the Y70. I just keep mentioning how they just made total mistakes with this case and they fixed it with the Y70. Sorry, Height. I actually really like Heights product. They kind of push the envelope there a lot of the time too, so that's cool. Like seeing brands do that. Um, Although probably have to fix this Q60 cooler too. I mean, some of it's just what the hell is going on with this cooler too, you know? All right, another one of the books, y'all. Stuff these cables right here. Hey, look, cable management's not that bad. I am not embarrassed to show that off. Not that bad. I didn't even use zip ties. I used 4 zip ties. Come on. I mean, of course, we wouldn't ever shit like that. Let's get this back panel on there. All right, and this the thing about this build is not gonna have like RGB, so I don't know if they make the thick version, the thick RGB fit like the fan, the thick version of like RGB versions of the thick fan. Oh my god, I can't get that sentence out. RGB versions of the thick fans. I don't know if they do that, but they should. This is what they sent us. That's why I'm showcasing it. But they definitely should if they do, and we'll love a pair or a set. Anyways, plug this bad boy in. You guys want to see me turn this on or what? Probably not gonna get much of a light show, if any, right now. Let me know. You guys want this turned on?
They're saying on TikTok.
Turn it on. Okay, okay. I don't see the TikTok chat. I gotta figure out how to get. There's something. Forget what it's called. Like this software that combines all the chats for you. Forget what it's called, but need to get that so I can see all you guys talking. I'm only seeing Twitch chat, guys. So sorry about that. I don't know if you guys were asking questions the whole time. Technically, Jerry here, my producer, is supposed to read those off for me. But we'll figure out how to get all those.
It's basically just for asking free PCs.
Okay, yeah, everybody wants free PCs. Hey, look, we'll have the giveaways up again soon, y'all. Don't worry about that. We'll definitely have the giveaways up. Keep your eyes peeled on that for sure. Yeah, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. But yeah, nonetheless, let me turn this on for y'all. Let me see if it's switched on there, and there it is. Okay, so you get a little bit of lights, you get a little bit of RGB behind the screen there. There it goes with the little fish. It's upside down. You can orientate that in the software. You can flip it upside down or right side up or however you want it, depending on how you mounted it. But cool, yeah. I mean, the RGB kind of reflects off those fans a little bit there. Cool little effect. So you get 3 intake or 2 intake on the side, 2 on the bottom, 4 intake altogether, and then 3 exhaust. We will be changing that to the Y70, so you'll get 3 intake on the bottom, 2 intake from the side, and then 3 exhaust, or maybe even 4, because you could fit a back fan as well. We'll see what how that all turns out there. But perfect card to use with a build like this too. You get the little RGB off the Accelerate cooler little RGB system they put on the PNY card there. Oh, what's up, Panda from TikTok? Okay, cool. Don't worry, I'll be able to see y'all. I'll be able to see y'all soon once we figure out how to combine all the chats there. But yeah, thank you for coming through the Twitch chat here. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Let me turn off the lights here so you guys can see it a little bit better. The little RGB that it has. There we go. Yeah, it says thick Q60 upside down there, y'all. But You could flip that. You can flip that in the software. It sucks that they didn't send us RGB fans though. It would have been nice to get some RGB fans. Maybe we could throw like some RGB strips in there. So when I do toss it into the Y70, I'm probably gonna toss like maybe 2 RGB strips, one on the side here, so you can see those side fans a little bit better on the radiator, and then maybe just one on top, shining down on the whole build to just give it a little bit extra light, so you can see what's going on there, get a little light show. You know, you want to enjoy your PC and its aesthetics, right? But just awesome build actually. I do actually like how it turned out. It just sucks. The Y60 should have just been a little bit taller, so they did fix it out with the Y70. And keep your eyes peeled. Once I rebuild this in the Y70, we'll take some pics, post it on the socials, and you guys can see how it is built in the Y70 there. I have the screen on the side and that screen there. But yeah, I mean, still a fire build, right? Get a little bit RGB off the emblem on the controller here too. That's so funny. I don't know why Height decided not to put any RGB on their cooler. I don't know if they sell an RGB version of it either. All right, let's get the lights back on here. And we are definitely going to be back next week, y'all, with another stream. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you have any suggestions, all right, if you guys want to see me build anything, let me know. Put it together a build, send it to us through the socials or whatever, or if you could through the chat, you know, just let me know and I'll build it, whatever it is. And we could toss it on the site as a ready to ship, right? So I can build it here on stream, toss it on the site, stress it and all that stuff, and then toss it on the site to ready to ship. So it'll be a one of one. We could probably even name it after you or something, right? So let me know what you guys want me to build next week. I'll probably come up with something for myself next week if you guys don't reach out in time. But if you do, I'll build whatever that is, and I'll mention it on stream here. This graphics card is a 4080 Super. It's a 4080 Super. PNY's Accelerate 4090 looks almost exactly the same. It's just slightly bigger. But yeah, it looks almost exactly the same there. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But yeah, it's 4080 Super, PNY Accelerate. But yeah, again, just I'll have another build next week. I'll probably come up with one if you guys don't send me any specs of what you want me to see or what you want to see me build. And yeah, it's another one in the books, y'all. Again, I hope you guys had a great weekend, a great week, and you're gonna have a great weekend coming up. If you're in the States, it was kind of weird getting a day off and then having to work again, and then weekend comes. But probably some of y'all got the rest of the week off too after that Wednesday. But hope you guys enjoyed that holiday, and if you're not in the States, I hope you guys have a great weekend nonetheless. And tune in again next week, y'all. Next Friday, we'll have another stream. Keep an eye on the socials. You never know with all the giveaways and stuff like that too. So yeah, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.